Namaste everyone. Hope everyone is doing so well and enjoying today's Ashtami celebrations that's going on everywhere. And here I am again today discussing about creative thinking and how creative thinking is important to be inculcated in our children, the next generation that we say. And to discuss more about it, we have a special guest today here with me. He is very passionate about parenting, I would say, and he takes all the efforts to understand and to implement that what could be done, and to teach others as well that what could be done uh, for uh, for enhancing the innate skills in the children and to make them more empathetic and very aware kind of a citizen. That's what he wants others to be. So I'll just invite him. And soon he'll join us.
Hi Siva, how are you?
I am fine, Rupali. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
I should thank you first because you are doing really great, talking to multiple individuals, exchanging the ideas, sharing that to wider a team. So that's what is more important. I think every one of us will have ideas, but we need a platform to share, and we need someone to discuss that about whether that's a good idea or a great idea. So and that's what is more important than just having an idea. And you are really making that happen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shiva. So, okay, I had been discussing about this process about creative problem solving, and uh, it is based on basically design thinking approach, as I had explained to you in our conversation, and I have been talking about the same process in whatever videos that I have been sharing till now. So, what I feel that as a designer, when I got an opportunity to learn this during my training and to practice it through or the professional practice that I have been doing and in the teaching. When I am teaching it to design students, I can see the kind of changes or transformation that this kind of thinking brings in overall transformation in them, not only related to the profession or design profession. Yes, only not only that part, but overall development I see in them because the way their thinking process gets developed. So what I feel is that it is very important that we as adults, we try and nurture this kind of creativity in our children as well. So basically what I feel is everyone as a child are very creative and we come up with so many different ideas as a child, when it comes to playing with friends or when it comes to doing something with whatever that we get. We are so creative and we come up with many ideas. It's just that with the kind of stereotype education that we go through, this somehow tries to suppress and then we lose that ability. So I would just like to hear from you that what are your views on this?
Okay, I think the first thing when I heard like okay, creative thinking.
Hmm.
So I think unlike many people, even I thought okay, creative thinking is only limited to let's think it's kind of a technology or maybe a business. So that is the level
Okay.
of thinking even I have got. But
Okay.
when I started understanding more about this concept, because it's just a concept, it's not a
Right.
process like where it can be applied anyway. So it's just a concept. You
Right.
can define that to any extent, so be it in
Correct.
children, be it in adults, or be it in any industry. And
Right.
especially
Right.
coming to the children, okay, so as
Hmm.
you rightly pointed out, their creativity is limitless.
Correct.
You can't match their creativity in any particular order or any, you can't really
Right.
quantify that.
Very true.
Every
Very true.
child is born creative and they will be increasing this creativity via their senses.
Right. Right.
But At one point, as you pointed out, maybe at the stage like when they go to school, the creative thinking will be reduced, I would say,
True.
because
True.
they'll not be allowed to do what they want. They'll not be allowed to do how they want to do. So
Right.
that is the place where their creative abilities are coming down.
Right.
And there
Right.
is no formal education or there is no formal study, I think, across India, maybe in all the normal education institutions, there is no such concept or some topic about that teaches about the creative thinking.
Right.
All
Right.
you tell them is, here is the book you need to read. Here are the questions by heart. Get the answers. That's it. You'll
Right.
get good marks.
Correct. Correct.
But
Correct.
we're not,
So,
yeah, we're not encouraging them to think beyond.
right. Right.
This I normally see even in my kids as well.
Right, right. Especially what I feel regarding this, Siva, is that even in the case of creative writing, like where that's an opportunity for them to express whatever thoughts they have about that topic. But even in that, in order to seek those good grades, they somehow have to just put in whatever has been taught by the teacher or in some kind of a reference book that they get. And if they try and think something on their own and write those, then sometimes the teacher appreciates, but most of the time I feel that they are not getting appreciated by teacher, of course not, and by parents as well. Sometimes not all parents are aware about this fact. So many of them are still of the mindset that you need to score better grades to get admission in the better college or university or whatever. So in all these things, the child is the sufferer, I feel. And as you mentioned, that they hardly get any opportunity to exercise that. Even in the creative writing activity, they are not getting that opportunity.
That's a very valid point. See, I'm not even talking only about the academics. Okay, so academics is one part of that, but beyond academics, there is a lot of world outside. Okay, so unless we as a parents or maybe at least the teachers at school, if they don't encourage this kind of a creative thought process, okay, so give a pat on the back whenever they do something out of the box. See, this creativity is about doing something out of the box.
Correct.
So whatever others think or whatever is told, the process, you have to think outside that process. That's what is creative thinking.
Correct.
So unless you encourage this, because kids will get these thoughts very often.
Right.
And it's we as a parents who should encourage them. For example, my 7-year-old kid, he tells stories to his brother. So my second son is just 2.5-year-old. And whenever I both myself and my wife are not there, the 7-year-old kid will tell stories to his brother.
Wow.
So
nice.
And you ask me like how it came in, probably because I am telling a lot of stories. He kind of, it's not even, see, I think the main point I'm trying to highlight is it's not the story which he read in any book or neither I told him. He will just create the story in that 1 or 2 minutes and he will tell. I know it's not a right story, but he will tell something. Yes. He will say, okay, cow is coming, lion is coming, we are going, something or other he will say.
Right.
So that is the creative mindset. Okay, see, unless you give that opportunity, if suddenly, let's say, if we as a parent do not have that kind of a growth mindset or that kind of a right creative mindset, I'll go and say, what stupid thing you are doing, and don't say. But I never told this to him. I will tell him, okay, tell whatever story you want, tell. Because his brother enjoys the story.
Yes.
And my younger one will come back and tell me the story. He will also try to explain the story, who is just 2.5 or 3-year-old. He will try to explain the story and act.
Yes.
So this is the kind of creative thinking we have to instill in the children.
Correct.
Otherwise, because not just it is, but it is important for the world as well. Yes. So as we are heading towards a even more powerful technology era, I think it's very, very important for us to make them ready for that era.
Yes.
So that is what is more important, because if we are fully into technology, gadgets, reading, writing, and whatever is told, just do whatever we told, it's not going to work. The future will be more difficult. We have to prepare them for the future, which is going to be even worse.
Correct, correct. We have Monica here, Siva. She is actually supporting what we are discussing. So I have sent an invite to her. Let us see if she can join. Yes, here she is.
Good evening,
Hi,
Monica. So, how
hi,
are you?
hi,
So
Shiva.
nice to see you, Monica. And please continue with.
I think you guys are covering such a beautiful topic. I wanted to know what are the things not to do with kids. Like, sometimes we stop them, unconsciously from being creative. So, what are those things that we know we should do or not do so that our kids can follow their creative journey?
Right.
Yeah, that's really wonderful question as well, for which everyone will have their own answer. So if you ask me, okay, so what should be done to improve creative thinking? I think we have to allow them to do anything. So that is the first and foremost thing. Because normally what happens is, like, whenever they try to do something which we are not comfortable with, we will try to stop them. Okay, let's say like they're just taking something and throwing away across the home. We will try to stop them because that's not the right way. We tell them, okay, please put the home clean, don't mess up. But out of this mess also, they'll be able to create, they'll be able to understand something out of that. That's where even this creative thinking starts. So I think that is the key thing, because normally, because we all are working and we do not have time to take care of them, or we do not have time to at least set the home beautiful. So we tend not to mess it up. Instead of setting that to spending more time, so we tend to ask them not to mess it up. But it's only via that activity they'll get more creativity. So it's actually not, it's not possible to tell in which activity they will be creative. They can be creative in any activity that come along their way. They will try to do it differently. That's what we have to encourage.
Very true. My daughter does baking since she was 3 years old, and baking is a messy craft. And as a kid, obviously they don't understand, when to wind up, and it's our parents' duty to wind it up. But over a period of time, she has learned it. Now she's 13 and she's writing a cookbook, and she's drawing doodles. I can show you the doodles she's doing here currently. You can see that.
Hi. What is her name, Monica?
So she is Raina here.
Okay, hi Raina.
Yeah.
So nice.
So great to see you, Raina. So it's very good.
So you can see, she's doing this cookbook here.
Wow.
And she's drawing all these doodles and everything, and she's learning all the tools for that. So initially, like when she was small and she was started baking, we used to feel that should we allow her to mess around things, or should, like, sometimes it gets a little frustrating as parents because we're working people, we don't
Especially
have
for
time.
mother, I would say.
Yeah, true.
I think
But
we
now
have
I'm
got the
getting the
perfect.
results. Like, I'm already seeing so many things which, she's been able to learn. Things which probably I learned at IIT. She already knows those things, typography, she knows book design, Rupali, right? We used to do that.
Yes,
Yeah,
Monica.
all that. So, yeah,
I
I
think we have got
totally
a
get it.
perfect example as well. I think we have got a perfect example or prototype. The saying that, okay, what will happen as a result of encouraging children for the creative thought process? Because few kids are, because every kid has their own ability to do things. But what happens is when you go into the standard stereotype kind of schooling, what will happen is, like, they will tend to think normally. They are born differently. I don't call this abnormal, but they are born differently, and they will become normal when they start going to school. So I they will become more normal. So that's what I think I've been telling, even as if you give me one child from a school, I can tell you how the entire school is going to work.
Yes.
So that one example is enough to tell, okay, what the school is valuing.
Right.
So are they concentrating only on academics or sports or multi-linguistic or multicultural? Just pick one child, you'll be able to know.
Correct.
So it's not a good thing. I don't want to call out any schools or something, but I think most of the schools does this. Okay, very less number of schools who encourage creative thinking. And one important point, like which even I am just talking before a while, is that kids can form into three different types. One, if they are being encouraged to be creative at home and school, they'll form one category. one category of kids where they don't encourage creativity at home nor at school. They will form the other category. And the most difficult category is at school, they don't encourage creativity. At home, they encourage creativity. So this is where the kids will get confused. They'll have this confusion status. My mom and dad are telling to be creative, but my teacher is telling me not to be creative. So it will be more challenging for those kind of kids. And if that gets increased, those are the kind of kids will go into depression or not being able to do things well. So I think that have a lot of things which I don't want to go into detail, but I think creative the thought process that is being instilled in children is very, very important, and there could be many ways to do that. So either reading a book for them or giving some activities to them which will not have one answer, or asking them questions which will not have one abstract answer. So we have to ask the questions in such a way it should not have an yes or no answer. So that's what even I learned. I never applied all these things to my kids, but I wanted to apply.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
And I think what we are doing currently, is with school is building that parent-partner bridge with teachers. So during every PTMs, every opportunity where we are talking to various different teachers, we talk about her, liking for, say, in her case, it is baking and cooking and writing a cookbook and, following that craft. We tell her that you teach her maths through those examples because it will hold her attention much better. You teach science through that. You teach, different topics through that. And the teachers are willing to go that little extra mile to customize some questions for her homework, or while talking in class, they use that examples that how do you convert pounds into something, or, feeds into, that way, because that helps them to arrest that interest in maths because they used an example of baking.
Right. That's such a great initiative, Monica, that you as a parent are sharing that, having that bridge, as you said, between teachers and parents for the development of the child. And they are also willing to go beyond the structure, what they generally follow. And they're trying to encourage that. It's such a great thing. And I just wish that more and more people follow a similar kind of pattern for the bright future of our children.
Yes.
I think it's very good point actually, Monica, because I think we are trying to combine two things here. So one, we are giving them the knowledge, and second, we are giving them the knowledge along with their interest. So which is very important, because you can't do only interest, you can't do only knowledge. I think combining both their interest as well as knowledge is very important, because they get connected, because they already have that interest, and now you are giving them some knowledge along with that. It will be more easy for them to absorb as well. It's very good actually. I think that's one. Even I have similar kind of thought process, because I sometimes not able to do that, but I want to do that again. I want to do this kind of things with my 7-year-old or 8-year-old. So I tell them, okay, we will have one day as maths day. So which means on that day, we will only talk about anything what we talk, we will talk in maths terminology. Okay, so something of that sort. And if there's a science day, let's talk everything in science terminology, which means, like, let's say there's a book. So instead of calling it as a book, we will say, okay, so something taken out of a plant and then we crushed it and made it as a book. So that will increase their creative mindset as well.
Yes.
I want to do that, but somehow I'm not able to do that. But because we have an opportunity here, I thought I'll tell that.
Yes.
I remember one day, my daughter, she was small. I think in 6th or 7-year-old. That age group, she's like, why do we do maths? I don't like maths. Maybe she was just tired or something. She was exhausted with something happening at school, and that. So we said, okay, no problem. We'll not do maths, and every time tomorrow, whenever you come up across some numbers through the day, write it down. Okay. And then she started baking the number aaya. Then she would climb the stairs. She was counting the steps, and like that way. So through the day, she's like, oh my god, that numbers everywhere, and we need to do maths. So it
That's
is,
such a beautiful way of explaining it, Monica. And that's how we have to be creative while parenting also. And if we set that standard, automatically children will absorb that, as we were discussing. So rather than
That is the
teaching
point.
them, if
Yeah.
we can incorporate that kind of behavior in the way we behave with them, that will be the best
yes.
solution for this, I feel.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I think the main connection point here is telling them to learn something will not make them interesting, but telling them the outcome of that learning will make them interesting. As I think you were rightly pointing out, if you tell them, okay, count the steps, okay, how many times you are eating, so how many times you are brushing, okay, I mean, how many movements you are doing, all these things that will make them to connect to maths, as you rightly pointed out. So similarly, for every subject, I think if we can do this, then that will be really good. They will get hooked to that subject because they look at the outcome, not the kind of a input they are taking, but they look at the outcome, so which is fantastic actually.
Yes, yes, yes,
Great,
yes.
great, amazing discussion, Rupali, Shiva.
Yes. Thank you so much, Monica, for joining. Thank you, Siva, for joining and having such a great discussion. Monica joined us impromptu, but then it led to so many different topics and so many different ways of how to incorporate in creativity in your parenting style. So I would love to thank both of you for joining this and hope our viewers enjoyed. I saw so many of them were joining actually. So it
Yeah,
was a wonderful session for everyone.
yeah. Keep doing
Yeah.
that, Rupali. Great. Bye
Yes.
bye.
Thank you. Thank
Today
you,
it's very,
Monica.
very kind of an important topic. It's a never-ending topic. There is no ending for this. We can talk for hours actually. Everyone will have their own experience. Thank you, Rupali, for setting it up, and thank you so much.
Okay, bye
Thank you.
bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Shiva.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.